Testing one, two, testing one, two. Welcome to House Culture Conversations. We are getting set to have our guest, and I want to make sure I can see everybody, whether you are on Twitch or you are on YouTube or Facebook Live. You can hear my audio coming through, so that means we are good to go. How is everybody doing? Welcome to House Culture Conversations. Yours truly, DJ D Light. And tonight we have an amazing conversation with an amazing producer, DJ. It's going to be an incredible conversation. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Soul Lifter Sunday. Third Sundays, hang out with us, twitch.tv/stunning moon, DJ D Light, Sweet D Sauce, Black Gold, and DJ Circuit. Every third Sunday, we do an amazing set. Catch us on Tuesday, Bam Tram Express. Too hot. Have you dancing like nobody's watching, singing like you're in your shower. And one of the people I feature a lot on Tuesdays is our guest on the Fam Tram Express. I love playing his work. Let's get him out here. Everyone say hello to Mr. M. Breezy. What's happening? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
I see Cabasso has gotten into the room early. John Davis Jr. is in the house. We see you. G Major, what's happening? Carlos Fuerte, you guys are on time tonight,
Yeah,
and it's so good to
yeah.
see the fam in the house. We're talking to M. Breezy. You know, we've been talking to a lot of DJs recently, but you are a hit maker. I've played a lot of your work, and the fans love it. The crowd goes crazy. And I especially love the stuff you do in the love zone. That's my sweet spot, near and dear to my heart when I get on the ones and twos. But I want to learn a little bit more about you first. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody joining in, sliding through, checking me out. Uh, DJ coin name is I don't call myself a DJ. I just love music. So I go by M Breezy. That's why you don't see DJ in the front. But my name is Mark Bassfield, born and raised Peoria, Illinois. Uh, kind of new to this scene. Been spinning for uh, maybe 3.5 years or so. So still cutting teeth. But this is my quiet passion right here, sitting in this room.
So now you're from Peoria, Illinois. That's a few hours outside of Chicago, right?
Exactly.
Now, was there a house scene in Peoria?
So there was not a house scene in Peoria. So I graduated high school, left for the military, came back. And when I came back, uh, Bradley University was literally a 10-minute walk from my house. So a friend of mine and we'd walk up to Bradley University, go up to Avani's. And on the way up there, we stopped by the Garrett Hall. And when we're in the Garrett Hall, I hear this four kick, like nonstop beating. And I'm like, well, we got to slide in and see what's going on. And that's when we found John Davis Jr.
You
So
found John Davis Jr. playing in a hall in
playing,
Peoria at Bradley
yes,
University.
he was a student at Bradley University. And uh, friend of mine and I, like I say, we slid in and checked the party out. So it was John and another gentleman playing music. 10 minutes later, shirt dripping in sweat, hooked. Like, this sound is absolutely crazy. You know, I grew up listening like to the Planet Rock, the Tour de France, uh, Egyptian Lover. All of those things were close, but this sound was completely different. It was not disco, and it was not electronic dance music either. So
And what is it about house music, in your opinion, that has this amazing impact on us, even so many years later, that we just love it and we'll love it to the day we die?
right. So our first year when we were doing a picnic, uh, I was tasked with doing some history checks on house music to kind of write a letter for some grant work. And what I learned uh, was that steady beat per minute, that 120 beat per minute creates dopamine effect.
Mm,
The drop creates a dopamine effect. And what happens is rhythmatically, you become in sync with that kick and that drum. Your body becomes in sync with that melody and that tempo. So learning what house music really sounds like, what I found is you get three genres of music to me that create satisfying emotion. That's reggae, that's gospel, and that's house.
mm,
I've never seen anyone listen to house music and be in a bad mood.
mm-hmm.
So that is why the house culture is thriving and will never go away.
Yeah, I think we always talk about it. It's like once you get in that environment, you just kind of forget about your cares, forget about your troubles, and that's so
Exactly.
true. When you listen to gospel or you listen to reggae, it's usually uplifting.
Yeah.
It's usually uplifting, and for the most part, it's a uplifting vibe. To your point, you almost get a what they call a natural high, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
a
a nat-
dopamine effect. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Who've been some of your influences when it comes to house music?
So my influence is really from a very local level because again, JD introduced it to Peoria. Uh, my first house CD or cassette that I ever bought was 10 City Foundation. And I kind of stopped at that. But being reintroduced to house music, like I say, through this journey, my influence from a very local level is JD, of course. I think JD is like a mastermind for library of house songs. It amazes me that him and Keith and you guys grew up into this culture where you could hear 8 bars and know the name of the song like instinctively. That amazes me. So on a local level is JD, is Keith Mack, Yuri, Midas. Like I listen to these guys play music, and my phone is constantly in my hand trying to sound hound or see if I can catch up. And I don't have the fortunate circumstance of growing up with Larry Levan and uh, Frankie Knuckles. I mean, I know some of the songs, probably most of the mainstream songs, but I didn't have the privilege of growing up in house from disco.
That is, interesting. You mentioned a lot of your fam from the Peoria area and the pit crew DJs. We're going to talk about that later. I'm looking forward to just cutting up on that a little bit. But I
Yeah,
loved how you talk about it on a local level because
yeah,
when we came up in house, it was local level. I just happened to be in Chicago, right?
right,
But when we went to college, no one knew about Frankie or anything like that. We brought that music with us, just like John Davis Jr. took it to Bradley. We took it throughout the country, and that's why it spread so quickly. Because as those high school kids that were dancing to that stuff went to college, they grabbed them some 1200s or some
right.
bootleg equipment, and they started taking our house music, or they were getting those A-track, not a cassette tapes, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about how old I am. 8-track, my goodness.
Hey, 8 tracks, reel to reel. I'm familiar.
But we took those things all over the country and it spread. You listen to House Culture Conversations. We are chopping it up with M. Breezy. Philip the Haitian, we see you. Amazing conversation with him last week. Check out the replay. And Midas Retouch, I see you. Thanks so much for vibing with us on House Culture Conversations. M. Breezy, where does the name M. Breezy come from?
Really simple. There's one guy. When I first, when my wife bought my very first controller, bought me a Newmark NS6 too, and about a few months in, he'd come over and we just kind of jam out to some R&B on Sunday, and he was like, "Hey, sound like you're getting pretty good around this board, Breezy." And first name Mark, he called me Breezy. So simple as that. And it stuck.
You just stuck. You just
It
in
stuck.
the middle of it. It stuck. Well, in Breezy, we know you as an amazing producer and a guy to make some amazing edits. Talk a little bit how you got into making edits and producing these things and putting them out there.
So again, there's a gentleman in our group, DJ Mac Don. He does a lot of mashups, like some really good work, like really creative and instinctive too. So it started with him, and then I caught on to James Collins.
Mm.
Caught JD or Keith. I'm pretty sure it was JD playing some James Collins stuff, and I'm like, whoa, like this. I know this song, but this the version I know is not house. And then got introduced to some Midas, and I'm an R&B guy, which is why you hear these songs that fit so well in your love zone. So I'm an R&B guy by heart. I love mid tempo, love ballads, and so I sat back one night, played some house, found some R&B beats per minute, did a little stem work, uh, created a song. I think one of my very first songs was "Slow Dance" with R. Kelly, and
Mm.
I was like, that ain't so bad. And one thing progressed to another, and uh, fortunately, uh, Midas was generous enough to say, "Hey, like Breezy, you putting together some decent stuff, but here's some tips for you." And then things kind of really came together, and the sound got better, the collaborations got better, and there you have it. So, in a nutshell, I'm always listening to R&B, and I hear a song, and I'm like, "Oh, I could probably play that at 122 beats a minute. Let me see what I can do." And
Mm. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I enjoy them thoroughly. And I played one last week that you did off of, I don't want to say the name, but I'm going to go ahead and say the name Keith Sweat, who I can't stand. Couldn't
right,
stand him. I would never take anyone to a Keith Sweat concert. They need to go to my concert. That's what I'm talking about. But with
right,
that said, you did it justice. It is a edit on Nobody, and he has this available. You can see it scrolling in Breezy 88 bandcamp.com. Go check him out. The edits are sick. They are ridiculous. They will take your sets. And DJs know when we play some of these edits, the crowd goes to another level. They lose their minds because there used to be a time when, edits and sampling and these things were frowned upon, but now they really connect the old with the new vibe with the old classics. And to your point, it's introducing this music to a new generation, and it's been quite powerful.
yeah, it
Yeah,
has.
I don't want to hear Keith beg. Philip
Yeah,
Harrison,
nothing.
you know.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I was coerced into that edit. So
You're coerced
yeah,
in that edit. Hey, well, I
right.
tell you what, I played it. So, Keith Sweat, I guess you're working your way into my Grace's wonderful edit. It's called Nobody.
Appreciate it.
Also, when it comes to editing or remaking, what's your approach? How do you know what to go after? It's something that just appeals to you.
Yeah. So again, I grew up uh, here in Peoria. At the age of four, from like 4 till 9 years old, my mother's two brothers, my uncle Brian and my uncle Danny, lived in the house with us. So there was music played all day, all night. If flashlight came on at midnight, better believe I jumped out my bed and had to get talked back into it. But music has always been a part of me. But as I grew, while most teenage, boys were rocking out to some Big Daddy Kane or some Eric
Mm.
B. and Rakim, you'd call me, I'd probably be playing some Teddy Pendergrass Joy or something, or little Al B. Shore or something, on the balladeer tip that's always been in me. So again, when I listen to a lot of neo soul, and in that, there's some really eclectic sounds in neo soul that probably wouldn't be heard otherwise. So I'll take that song, find me some South African house, maybe still a little unpopular, blend those two together and see if I can kind of push that out there. So the listeners get a new sound, altogether. So we don't actually have this market where everything's regurgitated. Everybody's playing the same songs on top of one another. So
I love that. And V Andy, how are you? Happy birthday. I know it may have been a couple of
happy
days ago,
birthday.
but I was there too. So happy birthday again. Trust you are well and that your 30th birthday has been everything you dreamed it would be. So now, what has Twitch done for your music?
So one, of course, the obvious is it allows you to share yourself with people all over the world. So that's the most immediate effect. But it's funny you asked that because Keith McDaniels and I were talking yesterday while JD was spinning in the black hole, and it was like it's amazing how social media and Twitch has brought this music family together, where you get this experience of going somewhere like you guys met at the house music picnic, and there's a bunch of people that we connect with on Twitch that we might not ever otherwise see, that now you have this rapport with one another, and your music family is expanded like exponentially, and that's what Twitch has done. So uh, I look forward to finding me a night and creating my own following. But you can catch me every other month or so, visitor on sessions from the black hole. But uh, yeah, so Twitch is it's a groove.
Hey, well, I know John Davis Jr. is in the crowd. DJ Slim C, welcome on in. Good to see you. DJ Slim C, we are looking forward to vibing with you real soon. As a matter of fact, let me just plug that real quick. DJ Slim C, we're going to have you in the hot seat at the beginning of November, I think. So make sure the fam
Blessings,
write it down.
blessings.
DJ Slim C, early in November. How are you, brother? Thanks for hanging out with us. And we're talking to M Breezy on House Culture Conversations. John Davis Jr., we got to get M Breezy to come to the Fam Tram Express one night and just play out some of those tunes. I will
Hey,
tell you, between you and James Collins, you guys really play some really nice edits that bring that R&B that we grew up with our families. I always think about being at the barbecue, and old
right,
folks singing out there. But
right,
now I can jack to them.
right,
And that
right.
is how that generational bridge is created. So I can share with my kids, hey, I listened to this and now I'm jacking to it. Old
Right.
folks used to, I don't know, I don't know what they called them dances back then, but they have a drink in their hand, a cigarette, and they just
I've seen it. I've seen it.
we
I've
know
seen
what it
it.
was,
Yeah.
card tables, right? Bid
Right.
whist and
Yep.
spades or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
But I appreciate you so much for your gift and your talent and for being committed to the genre and to so much of what we do. Where do you see this, going when we talk about house music, the ability now to create some of these magical experiences with the music? Where do you see things going?
You know, again, so once we started our group, I started playing a lot of house at home. And doing so, I have a 12-year-old nephew, soon to be 13. Put the headphones on. I'm like, so you see this heavy pattern? This is a kick. See if you can sync this kick up between these two songs. Fade in this song, let it play for a minute, go back to the other song. And he done it like in 10 minutes. These kids are like wizards about electronics. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I have two uh, first grade 6-year old grandchildren, grandsons. So we'll see if this music like continues to push because as we play it, they're listening and they might be off doing some other things. But again, like these children nowadays are spaceships and uh, their ability to multitask and retain, they could come back and emulate what you did, like snap of a finger. So uh, I tell all the parents, keep playing that house, kids, grandkids, let them hear it, and believe me, they it makes you feel good. I don't care what age you are. So
That's it. That's it. Talk a little bit about your crew. So who you playing with, who you vibing with. I know you guys just had the recent pit crew DJs
yeah,
in Peoria. Talk a little bit about the fam.
yeah. So WT Franklin uh, put together this crew, and what's funny about it is when he put it together, I hadn't had my controller for 2 months, and but I sat over his shoulder while he's spinning, and I'm watching, and just a quiet observer. And he's like, "Hey," he sends this group text out, and it's Keith McDaniels, Tony Cummings, John Davis Jr., Antron Evans, Antoinette Williams, of course himself, myself, and Jeff McDonald. So he's like, "Hey, let's all meet up out at the Gorilla Pit. We're gonna have a jam session." And we sat out one Sunday and we rocked for probably 7 hours. Like I was blown away because I had absolutely no experience. So I couldn't transition a song, I couldn't blend a song, I could barely pick out the right song. And watching these guys made me come home and put my elbows on the table and get busy. Yeah, so pit crew is I owe all of those guys. I take a little bit of each and every person and add it to myself.
And you guys recently had back in September.
September, yeah, did our
Talk a little
third
bit about
annual.
that event. Yeah, yeah. Talk about your
Yeah,
annual event. You had DJ Chill and Nikki Divine out there.
yeah. So this is our third year. DJ Chill's been with us 2 years straight. So we would like to coin her as our resident uh, DJ. I know she doesn't like being called a female DJ. She just wants to be one of the guys. So uh, yeah, DJ Chill. This is her second year coming down, rocking with us. Nikki Divine came down, rocked with us, tore the scene up. And of course, we had Tony, myself, Yuri K. Always got to give a special shout to Yuri K because he was a large push for JD getting into Twitch, which got Keith into Twitch, which put all of us into Twitch. So Yuri K, a big shout out to him. I call him family because that's what he feel like to me. Then of course you got John Davis, Keith McDaniels, and WT. So had a large part of the group present. Had a real successful event.
Well, I
Hopefully,
will
oh,
tell you, you guys are incredible. Just to see the camaraderie that you guys have. There's no big eyes or little U's. You guys are, really close, real brothers, and I think that's really cool. And that's why I fools with you guys because
yeah,
I just love the spirit that you guys bring. We got the Fam Tram Express with John Davis Jr. and Keith Mack. Every chance we can slide him in, we
yes,
bring him on. We don't even think twice about it because they're just really good people that love the music, love the culture, and
100%.
that means everything. That's my jam. I see you in there shaking us up in the chat. Appreciate you so
Right.
much. Trust your day has been well. Letha 5555 double nickel. Big hearts, big love to you. You're listening to House Culture Conversations. We're hanging out with M Breezy. So, what's been some of your favorite edits? Give me your top 5 edits that you've done that you've
Uh,
enjoyed.
so Pure Imagination is in my top five.
Now, if you
Uh,
all haven't heard that one, I played it a few weeks ago on Fam Tram Express. It is, I mean, I Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I love the movie, right? And we all know that song, but he put the vibe behind it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It is something that I just have, just I play it every now and again. It is, yeah, it's a favorite of mine too.
yeah, Pure Imagination is in my top five. Whatever It Takes, the Anita Baker, is in my top five. I'm going to say Raheem Devine You is in my top five. R. Kelly's Slow Jam is in my top five because that's my number one. That's my first song. So that's my baby there. Uh, and I'm
Is
going to
it
say,
legal to say R. Kelly's name anymore? I didn't know if it's legal
uh,
to say his
well,
name.
uh, yeah, well, I, I hope I don't get arrested.
Don't start nothing, be like, just let the man
And
talk.
and my new favorite is the Earth, the Michelle and Deggio cello edit. That is my new favorite.
All right. Now, see, I wrote those down because I don't know. I don't think I've played all of those, so I have to check those out. And for those of you who are listening in the chat, again, mbreezy88.bandcamp.com. DJs, go check him out. You will love this work. Check his edits out. Well worth it. Somebody trying to put me in the naughty corner. I,
Yeah.
you know me, it won't be long before I find my way to the naughty corner, Cabasso. But what parting words would you have for us as we are, closing in on the bottom of the hour? What other things would you share?
Uh, for anyone that's interested in jumping into editing or producing, the one thing I would share is get a mentor. Find somebody that doesn't mind sharing their passion and their knowledge with you. I tip my hat to Midas every chance I get. I call him my music mentor. Him and James, like they've opened themselves up and shared a lot of tips with me that really kind of took my production from one level really to a point to where I feel confident with anyone playing it anywhere. So uh, I would always tell someone, follow your heart, like play you. That's what I would tell anyone. Play you. Don't try to sound like anyone else. Be yourself. And this is your vision. And this is your moment in whatever capacity that is. Show them who you are.
I love that. I love that. As we always say, as DJs, you know, you want to play to your crowd, but you also have to be yourself. You got to be your own DJ. Can't DJ like somebody else. You got to bring your vibe, and those folks that want to vibe with you, that they'll show up.
They'll
They'll
show up.
they'll be there
Yep.
for you. And I think it's the same thing when you make your music. It's what touches your heart and what your creative mind pursues, and that's what makes it really cool. You mentioned creating some eclectic sounds and other things that people may have never heard before, and that's what it's all about. Just creating within the vibe, and that's so cool. So as we always do on House Culture Conversations, we've got to go somewhere. Do you have a Twitch channel you suggest we raid out to?
So let me see who's on right now.
Once again, you've been listening to House Culture Conversation. Our guest has been M Breezy. If you didn't catch the full interview, it will be on replay on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Having a fam in the building means so much. It means everything. So I appreciate you guys, and we will sit tight to join
Yeah,
a party already in progress.
yeah, let's jump into DJ Tila.
All right, here we go. Let's see here. Hang
Again,
on.
I appreciate everybody. Thank you for your time and energy.
Is that who kicked off a hype train? Hey, we got Bitch in the building, and Breezy. Wait,
Hey,
when you
yeah.
DJ and you get a
So
raid train and you got a raid, you kind of hold on for that hype train.
right. Yeah, you got to. You
Hey,
got to.
appreciate you guys so much. Big love, big thanks for the hype train. I appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna queue up DJ T Lie here. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. My typing skills ain't so good in Breezy.
I type with two fingers, so I have zero room to judge.
All right, now let's make sure I spelled it right. My spelling ain't so good these days either. All right.
DJ underscore TEALA.
Yes, I think we got it.
Okay.
And once again, thanks so much, everybody, for the raid train. You guys are the best. You're amazing. And just, hey, look forward to seeing you guys next time. Some of the upcoming guests that we have, just so you know, we have DJ Slim C coming up. We're going to have Design Works. Um, and we got a few other people coming up, but I know those folks are coming up. DJ Slim C Design Works are coming up early in November, and James Collins will be here real soon. So keep tuned in as John Davis Jr. says, stick and stay. And we're gonna head on over to DJ Tila. You guys have an amazing night, and for those of you in Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you next time. Let's get this raid going. We are on our way. We'll see you next time. Hold on a second. I'm going to end the stream. For everybody else, we'll see you next time.